We're going to be looking at traffic lights. So let's start with the basics. Red, you must stop. You have no option. Red and amber, you can prepare to go. Green, you can go if safe and clear. If safe and clear. Amber, stop if safe to do so. So if you're right on top of the line and someone's close behind you, it's not safe. So we have a set of traffic lights ahead of us. We're going to be turning right. So we go through the usual procedure, mirror signal, position, speed, look. And we see we've got a central reservation here we can go into. Now you can see the lights have gone green, and underneath that green light is a filter arrow. Now we're not controlled by that filter arrow. That's there to help us. So we can move to the middle of the junction, and we can either go when there's a safe gap, when the filter arrow comes on, or if the lights start to go red and the oncoming cars have started to stop. So I'm holding on for a moment just so that we can see the lights through the sequence. We could have gone in front of the van, obviously. So here we do have a big gap, so we're going to have to make the move now. This time at the traffic lights we plan to turn right. Now because we're coming out of the minor road onto the major road, there is no filter. These lights just go red for left and right turns at the same time. As we come out of a junction like this though, we say green, go if safe to do so, and clear means scan the junction, look for anybody that might try and come out in front of you that hasn't seen their red light. It does happen. Now we're coming up to a set of temporary traffic lights. You get these at roadworks, etc. when the traffic flow is severely restricted, so it's usually dealing with one way at a time. The big thing with these lights, standard traffic lights, is that there is usually a sign that says wait here when light is red, or wait here until the green light comes on. Now you've got to be careful, they don't always put that sign in a sensible place. Sometimes you have to stop a little bit further back, but you should never stop after it. Now we're coming up to a large junction with traffic lights, and the first thing we do here is figure out what lane we need to be in. We're following the road ahead this time, so we just follow the lane we're in, and we'll see in a moment there are arrows telling us to be in this lane. Now if we were turning right, you would see that the far bank of lights is also operating for that direction, and you can see there's no filter lights, it's just the standard 3 lights, which means that all 3 lanes from our direction will go at the same time, which most likely means that the other 3 junctions will all be stationary, will all be on a red light. There we go. So again, when we go through here, make sure you scan the junction, especially large high-speed roads like this. There's a high risk of someone not seeing the red lights and coming straight through at you. At the end of this road we can see we have traffic lights. We're going to be turning right. Slight difference this time, we're effectively turning right across the dual carriageway, so we're going across a central reservation. So what you've got to be careful about here is that you turn right into the correct lane. So you can see the left turn have got a filter arrow, so they can go already, while traffic coming towards from the left would have been allowed to turn right. We've now got the green light, so we're scanning the junction again. Got one eye on that little grey car just in case. Come out into the left-hand lane. Now we're going to be taking the road to the right at the traffic lights. So straight away on approach we need the right-hand lane to begin with. We can see that the right turn has its own arrow for turning right, and we can see a 3rd lane opening up. Now the lights are changing, we're planning to stop at the give way. And we can see now there are 2 banks of lights. Now as we just saw, there is an arrow for the right turn with its own red light. Now, because it's got its own red light, that means you have to wait for the arrow. You cannot go as we did with the filter earlier on. Always be careful at junctions like this. You can see the road ahead now and the left turn have got the green lights, but we haven't. That doesn't mean, so we can't move to the middle. We have to wait here at the stop line. So what should happen is when our light goes green, oncoming traffic, we can now move. Oncoming traffic will be stationary, as you can see now. This time we're going to be turning left at the traffic lights. There is a lane opening up on the left, so we need to mirror and signal early for that. Coming into the left hand lane, we can now see the arrows telling us this is for left turn only. So as earlier on, there is just standard traffic lights here, no filters, so we would expect to go at the same time as the other two lanes next to us. First in the queue, so put the handbrake on, keep the car safe. So now you can see the traffic on the other road has got their right turn filter lights on. That probably means they're at the end of their sequence, so we could probably expect our lights to change, and there you go. So as we move again, check in right and left, make sure that no one's come through the red lights. And as you can see ahead, we're going to merge into one lane, so we're already checking that right door mirror to see if anybody's going to be trying to overtake. Next junction, we're going to be turning right, and as we can already see ahead, there is lane direction, and obviously the right hand lane will be for the right hand turn. Now the thing that is slightly different here, as you approach this, you see two sets of lights with no filters on the two right hand lanes. So you would think that, oh, maybe this is a normal set of lights then. No, it isn't, because you can see the left hand set have gone green for road ahead. So in a while we'll find that the right hand set will go green for the right turn only. So it's very easy at a junction like this to get confused and be looking at the wrong set of lights. There we go, ours have gone green, and now the road ahead one has gone red because the road opposite, where the other learner car, the white car is, they've also got a green light. So it's just allowing the right turn traffic to deal with the junction alone. Now this time at the junction with traffic lights, we're planning to follow the road ahead. The difference here is the big white signpost. Clearly states if you want to go road ahead, you need to be in the right hand lane. So as we come round, we're already just angling towards that. We don't need an indicator to get into it, because that would be misleading and make people think that we were turning right at the junction. Now we can see again there is a filter underneath this, but it is just a filter without its own red light. So if you're turning right, you can go without the filter light. Of course, when the main green light is illuminated. Again here you need to be careful because the left hand set of lights will go green for left turn only. The clue to that is underneath the three lights there is an arrow that says left turn only.